Good morning students, this is for AC 6 semester. Today I am going to deliver my lecture on Unit 6, that is Circuit Characterization and Performance Estimation. The purpose of this unit is to measure the performance estimation of MOS device parameters. These parameters are resistance, capacitance and inductance of MOS devices. So in this unit there are some issues here that we want to be considered. We know that MOS structure consists of various layers of insulating and conducting layer in our previous lecture, and some kind of metal terminals are also present. Each layer consists of both capacitance and resistance. So these are the fundamental components in formal estimating the performance of the circuit. So our very first topic in this unit is estimation of resistance, capacitance and inductance. Estimation of resistance, capacitance and inductance. In this section we will consider the estimation of resistance, capacitance and inductance of MOS devices. So first of all we will consider resistance estimation, that is estimation of resistance. Resistance estimation provides us the estimating performance of a system or a circuit. As shown in figure 1, the calculation of layer resistance model. Here T is the thickness, L is the length of conductor, W is the width of conductor. So the resistance of a layer depends on the material used, number of locations of the various contacts and the dimensions of the block, as shown in this figure. So the total resistance in the direction of indicated current is resistance of wire is equal to rho L over T into W. Rho as resistivity, L as length of conductor, T as thickness and W as width of conductor. So in this figure, X and Y are the two ends of resistance as shown in figure. Therefore area is equal to length into width. So in this equation rho by T is called sheet resistance. So therefore R resistance of wire, R wire is equal to R sheet resistance into L over W. The units of resistance is ohms. So resistance, sheet resistance is just a ratio of resistivity of the interconnect material to the thickness of the conductor. So to calculate the conductor resistance in a layer, simply multiply length to width ratio of the conductor by the sheet resistance. The sheet resistance of different layers will be different. The values that concerned with the layers depends on the sheet resistance and thickness of the conductor in a MOS circuit. So we can calculate the resistance of the conductor, but only when we know the typical sheet resistance for conductors. So we first must know the typical values of sheet resistance, that is RST, for conductors for particular NMOS devices, PMOS devices and CMOS devices. Similarly, we can estimate the resistance of non-rectangular regions. So next, second is estimation of capacitance. There are various capacitance and the MOS devices are called parasitic capacitance. The switching speed of MOS system are dependent upon these parasitic capacitance. Dealing with the MOS device and metals that are used to form the interconnection capacitance. So at the output of a CMOS transistor gate, the total load capacitance is the sum of diffusion capacitance and sum of the capacitance of the gate, and also capacitance is routing in the MOS device. So therefore it is very important to know the parasitic loads, sources and their changes in the design process. So there are three modes of operations of MOS capacitor characteristics. These three modes of operations are accumulation mode, depletion mode and third one is inversion mode. So this figure shows the MOS capacitance in accumulation mode. As shown in figure, the accumulation region mode, when the gate voltage VG is less than 0, then accumulation layer is formed. This layer is accumulation layer. So VG less than 0 means NMOS or accumulation layer is formed, and for PMOS VG is greater than 0, that is for N substrate. There is P substrate, so this is NMOS. In this case we have NMOS device, so when VG is gate voltage is less than 0, accumulation layer is formed, because the negative charge values of voltage at gate attract holes towards the insulation surface, which is silicon dioxide surface. So MOS device structure behaves as a parallel plate capacitor. This is accumulation layer. When accumulation layer is present, so MOS device structure behaves as a parallel plate capacitor. The first plate is created from the gate conductor, and second plate comes from the P substrate due to the high concentration of holes in this region, that is P substrate. We can also say that accumulation layer is directly connected with substrate region. So the capacitance of the gate is, gate capacitance Cg is equal to epsilon n epsilon naught Wn whole divided by Tox. Here W is width, L is length, epsilon n is relative permittivity of silicon dioxide oxide layer, epsilon naught is free space permittivity, Tox is oxide thickness, and this Cg is gate capacitance. So these are the two conditions when the accumulation layer is formed. For NMOS, Vg is less than 0, that is P substrate, then accumulation layer is formed. And in the case of PMOS, that is N substrate, Vg is greater than 0, means gate voltage is greater than 0, then accumulation layer is formed. So our next mode as second mode of operation is depletion mode of operation of MOS capacitance. This figure shows the depletion mode of MOS capacitance. In this mode of operation, when a very small positive voltage is applied on the gate with respect to P substrate, assume Vg is equal to 0, then a new layer is formed, that is called depletion layer, as shown in this figure. Because when we apply a positive voltage at gate, that is Vg is equal to 0, voltage repels holes and then leaving a negative charge carriers. For a small negative gate voltage, a similar effect occur in a PMOS device, because the charge per unit area magnitude at the depletion region surface is totally dependent on the following factors. First factor is electronic charge, doping concentration level, and third one is depth of depletion region surface. By these factors, the depth of depletion region of surface also increases with the increase of gate to substrate voltage, that is VGSP. So the depletion capacitance is, this is the capacitance that is formed in depletion mode region. Cg as gate capacitance and C depletion is capacitance of depletion layer. So the depletion capacitance C depletion is equal to epsilon n epsilon naught W into L by D. Here D is depth of depletion layer of surface, because we already discussed when the depletion region width increases, it increases with the increase of D is increases with the increase of gate to substrate bias voltage. So this is the gate to substrate capacitance. The capacitance of gate to substrate decrease with the increase of depletion or region or depth of depletion region. So the total capacitance from gate terminal to substrate terminal under depletion mode is CGSBS, that is gate to substrate capacitance, is equal to Cg into C depletion divided by Cg plus C depletion, because these two capacitance are in series. So the total capacitance is equal to 1 by Cg plus 1 by C depletion. Then by solving this, we obtained this the CGSB is equal to Cg into C depletion whole divided by Cg plus C depletion. This is the second mode of operation, that is depletion mode. So for third mode is inversion mode of Morse capacitance as shown in this figure. When the gate voltage further increases, means Vg is greater than 0, then the electrons for p substrate or minority carriers are attracted towards or upward the surface. This creates an n-type channel, that is n-type channel, due to the effectively invert silicon on surface. Why this surface inversion layer is formed, or inversion yields a very high conductivity under the gate of MOS device, that is inversion layer. This one is depletion layer, and this is p substrate. So the electrons for p substrate or minority carriers are attracted towards or upward the surface, and this restore capacitance are at a low frequency to gate capacitance, because the main reason is carrier supply is limited to the inversion layer, and fast moving gate voltage are not tracked by the charge of surface. So the dynamic capacitance should be same as for the maximum depletion. So this is CGB is equal to CG for low frequency, and CGB is equal to CG into C depletion whole divided by CG plus C depletion that is equal to C minimum for high frequency. Means when the frequency is low, then the capacitance increases, and when the frequency is high, then the capacitance reduces. And there are three different modes, that is accumulation mode, depletion mode, and third one is inversion mode. So in the accumulation mode, the according to VGS, the capacitance increases. Then in depletion mode, it goes to it decreases, it goes to low. But in inversion region, there are two types of frequency, high and low. At low frequency, again capacitance increases, but at high frequency it gradually reduces. So this is the most various capacitance in between the MOS devices. So MOS device capacitance, that is NMOS device, that is CGS, CGSB, CGD, that is the capacitance between source and gate, that is the capacitance between gate and drain, and the CGSP is the capacitance between gate and substrate. SSP is between the source and substrate, and CDSP is between the drain and substrate. So these are the various parasitic capacitance of an NMOS transistor, that is CGD, CGS, CGSB, CSSB, and CDSB. So we can say that the total capacitance of gate is the combination of drain to gate voltage, drain to gate capacitance, and gate to substrate capacitance, and gate to source capacitance. So these three are the addition of these three capacitance is total capacitance of gate. So CG is equal to CGD plus CGSB plus CGS. CGD is the capacitance between gate and drain, CGSB is between gate and substrate, CGS is between gate and source. So basically we observe the behavior of capacitance of gate in the following. In saturation mode, that is VGS minus VTH is less than VDS, that is drain to source voltage. The channel is heavily inverted in this region. When the channel in the drain mode region is pinched off causing gate to drain capacitance to be 0. So the gate to source capacitance CGS is equal to 2 by 3 into epsilon n epsilon naught W into L whole divided by TOX. And in off region where gate to source voltage, that is VGS, is less than threshold voltage, then we can say MOS device is in off state, so no channel is formed, no channel is created. By this the value of CGD is equal to CGS, that is equal to 0. So no channel is formed, no charging or discharging of capacitance occurs, so CGS is 0. And third is non-saturation mode, where VGS minus VTH is greater than drain to source voltage. By this the channel is created. Gate to source and gate to drain capacitance depends upon the voltage present on gate terminal. So the gate to source capacitance is equal to 1 by 2 epsilon n epsilon naught WL whole divided by TOX. So this is whole about the estimation of capacitance, where we discuss the three modes of operation: accumulation mode, depletion mode, and third one is inversion mode. And this is the MOS device capacitances in various regions, that is non-saturation region, cutoff region, and saturated region. So last third estimation is in inductance estimation of inductance L. Basically inductance on a chip are small. By the inductance it causes various effects in high speed and large input output buffers. When the process shrink in terms of MOS circuit design process, then on chip inductance may be taken. For calculating the inductance on a chip of a conductor, we can express it as L is equal to mu wire by 2 pi into log n 8H over W plus W over 4H, where L is inductance, mu wire as permittivity of wire, H as height above ground, and D as W as wire diameter or width. So L is equal to mu wire over 2 pi ln 4H over D. So basically wire is a cylindrical wire. So it is very important to note that when calculating the inductive spikes, then the inductance of a wire give importance role. Inductive spike occurs because of a large current is flowing through a wire with a small period of time. We may write down the voltage change. Change of voltage is equal to L into di by dt. That is rate of change of current with respect to time. So during the design of high speed circuits, power supply connections must keep the level of inductance where the voltage changes does not affect the chip behavior. So this is all about the estimation of R, C and L. Thank you all.